they hate, then let them hate me, want the money piled up.
The program for this 100-day challenge is Conjugate. You know, growing up, Pops brought us up on the Westside Barbell, Louis Simmons methodologies. So I'm gonna briefly explain this real quick. It's an upper-lower split. All right, so day one, we have max effort upper body. Max effort is where we focus on strength. You're gonna hit a 1 rep max, 2 rep max, 3 rep max, 4 rep max, 5 rep max, focusing on heavy load. On this day, you also have push accessories, chest, shoulders, tries. You know, these are areas of weakness that you work on to build up your main movements. Day two, we have max effort lower body. Same exact concept as day one, but our focus is lower body. The lower body main movements is deadlift and squats. Day after that is an off day. It's where we rest, relax, and get ready to hit it hard the next day. The next day after that is dynamic effort upper day. Everything here, we're focused on speed and explosiveness. Force equals mass times acceleration. Here, we focus on moving weights fast and explosive, building those quick twitch muscle fibers, moving weights as fast as we can. On this day, we focus on pull accessories, back, upper back, biceps, traps, grip work. Next is dynamic effort lower. Same concept as dynamic effort upper. Main emphasis, deadlift and squats, where we move weights explosively. We also have sprints, plyometrics, and then we have accessory work emphasizing our weaknesses relating to these movements. So whether your weaknesses are hamstrings, glutes, quads, whatever, that would be your area of focus. And then if you're somebody that likes to bodybuild, this is where you'll add extra volume. So that's kind of a rough outline of the way the program is set up. For us, our layout is going to be a little different. Since we're tackling so many different challenges, it's going to take a while for our body to acclimate to these new stimulus, this new stress of building strength again. So here's how we're laying it out. We'll have one whole week. Let's just say we're talking about lower body. We have one whole week that's focused on all knee bending. Yeah, so you'll have quad accessories, wide stance box squats, narrow stance squats, sissy squats, all different variations of knee bending. No deadlifting or posterior chain of any kind. This allows us to emphasize specific volume. Also gives us the ability to practice movement patterns, practice specific movements. And then the next week, our whole week emphasis is posterior chain. And obviously the main movement for that is deadlift. This is where we'll hit the hamstrings, the glutes, the low back. So as you can see, every other week we'll alternate back and forth between these two. A lot of people don't like that because they're like, oh my gosh, I can't go a whole week without deadlifting, or I can't go a whole week without squatting. For us, it just really allows us to focus. I think we've used it on a lot of our clients and it works out very well. You're able to avoid overuse injuries. And it doesn't matter if you're a better squatter or a better deadlifter, this forces you to focus each week on whether building on your strengths or building on your weaknesses and practicing over and over and over again. My favorite part is, let's just say it's a knee bending week. I'm already warm. I can move on to a different accessory or a different movement without having to warm up. Just like, you know, back in the day, we'd do like a main movement squat and then have to switch over to deadlift. And it felt like I'd have to warm up for deadlift all over again. It's efficient. It's easier on the body over time, less stress on the joints, less stress on the nervous system. You know, that also includes the mind, your mentality, and just gives you a nice, smooth session. And when you know, just like when you're learning anything new, repetition is the king, right? Repetition is what forces you to learn and get better. I love Conjugate. I love how it's open architecture, but the principles of strength remain the same. People get confused about it because there's so many different things involved in it, but the principles are exactly the same compared to any other program. The biggest strength for me, the biggest plus for me is that you don't get bored. It keeps things exciting, keeps you moving. You know, there's two things to remember when it comes to longevity, or if you want to make, you know, training a lifestyle. Number one, you can't get hurt, and number two, you can't get bored. But yeah, that's the main reason why I love Conjugate. Like I said, the open architecture, you can plug and play from other programs, things that fit you, the way you're feeling, how you want to train, whatever your emphasis, your goal is. And that's important for me. That's one of the main things I love about Conjugate.